Hey guys, pulled out another gun to talk about today. It's another one of those ones that it's kind of hard to find information about, videos on YouTube, stuff like that, so thought I'd put together a quick review for anyone that's interested in it, might shed some light on it. It's a Sphinx AT-380M produced by Sphinx Systems Ltd in Switzerland. It's a pretty old company. They've been around since the 1880s, I think, and for most of their history they produced screws, machine parts, stuff like that. But in the 1990s they became Sphinx Systems Ltd and they started producing handguns. They're mostly known for their high-end race guns, their CZ75 clones, but for a while they were also making these little 380s, and I don't think there's any importer for them right now, so they're pretty hard to find. They're kind of rare. These especially, they're pretty hard to find. Yeah, so just kind of show you a little bit what it's about. So this one here, it's a like I said, it's AT-380M. It's in 380 ACP. It's double action only. There's no hammer to grab on there or anything like that. It's 10+1 capacity. This one is in the blue finish with wood grips, which is really hard to find. The blue finish you see a lot, but the wood grips, I don't know if I've ever even seen one with that. They also made a palladium finish, which is sort of a silvery stainless looking thing, but it's supposedly pretty desirable. I haven't seen one in person, but I've heard it's really nice. This one is called 380M because it has a manual safety. The M stands for manual safety. And apparently they did make AT-380s without the manual safety, but I haven't seen one of those for sale in the United States, so I'm not sure if they were ever imported. There's also an AT-32, which would be a 32 ACP caliber, and that's another one that I haven't ever seen. So if any of you guys have seen one without the manual safety or in the 32 caliber, let me know, because I don't know, I'm not really huge on the 380 ACP, so I was actually looking for a 32, but never could find one. And the manual safety too, I'm not huge on that. But anyway, so that's sort of just the basics about the gun. I can talk about the appearance and the size of it a little bit. One of the things I read when I was looking to get one of these was that it was based on the CZ83 from the Czech Republic, but I'm not sure if someone was just kind of confused about because Sphinx makes the CZ75 clones, but there's really not a lot in common in my opinion with the CZ83. It does actually take the same magazine, interestingly, but apart from that, I don't think there's really a lot in common. I've actually got a CZ82 here that I was going to sort of compare and contrast. Now these take a little bit different caliber. It's the 9x18 Makarov, but kind of gives you a look at it. I mean, there's a lot that's different about them. The takedown's completely different. You know, with the CZs, you're pulling down the trigger guard, and the Sphinx has the manual safety up here. I mean, I guess this is kind of similar, but really these are single action, double action. This is double action only, so it's really not a lot in common in my opinion with the CZs. So when I was looking at them and reading about them, I figured it would be about that size too, but as you can tell, it's actually quite a bit smaller also. Really, in my opinion, it's surprising it being a 380 gun, but it's about the same size as a Walter PPK. This is an old one from 1936, and it's in 32 ACP, but you can see they're really about the same size. I'm not looking at the screen, so I'm hoping that's showing up, but it's not that wide. It's a little bit wider than the PPK, but pretty much as far as everything goes, weight, size, it's really quite similar to the PPK. So, in my opinion, that's kind of what you're looking at with this gun as far as the appearance and the size. It's sort of like a PPK. It is pretty heavy, which to me is a good thing. I mean, this isn't something I'm going to carry anyway, but I like just the way it feels in my hand. It's really solid feeling, really heavy feeling. So I think it's really well built. I'll move on to the ergonomics now. To me, it feels pretty good in my hand. Trigger's pretty wide. I noted in my Kappa Rhino review that it has a wide trigger too, and I like that. It just kind of evens the pressure distribution on your finger. It makes the trigger pretty comfortable to pull. Pull itself is a double action only. It is long, kind of heavy, but you know, honestly, it's actually pretty smooth. I think feels pretty good. I'm not huge on double action only guns, to be honest, because I'm mostly more of a range shooter. I go to the range to target shoot, and I like being able to do single action, but I appreciate this gun for its rarity, and I think it looks pretty cool, so I wanted to get it even if it is double action only. So that's what the trigger pull is like. It is ambidextrous. It has mag release on both sides, slide release on both sides. I'll pull the magazine out. I don't know if I mentioned it's a 10+1. Because this did come out during the assault weapons ban, so you weren't able to get higher capacity mags than the 10 rounders. Shooting it, as far as shooting goes, it does kick quite a bit. That's kind of why I've never been big on the 380s, because I can't find a gun that really feels good to shoot unless you're talking full-size guns. But it does kick. It has dovetail sights in the back. They're not. Somewhere I read also said they're adjustable. I mean, you could maybe move these back and forth for windage, but they're dovetail. It's accurate. It's you're not probably going to win competitions because of the double action pull, but it's fun to shoot. It's accurate. It's about standard for a 380, I'd say. I'll probably do another video showing the field strip. It's a little tricky, but it's really pretty easy. I mean, it'll be a 2-minute video or something, but I might throw one of those up soon. Let's see. In my other reviews, I talk about criticisms. If I were to have any criticisms about this, it's pretty heavy. It's not something I'm going to slip in my pocket or anything like that. Especially nowadays, you have 380 pistols that weigh nothing, that you can just slip in your pocket, and this is definitely not that. The double action only, not huge on that, but it is safe. It has some sort of patented trigger system in there that's supposed to be, neat or whatever, I guess, in Sphinx's opinion, but to me it just feels like a double action. Smooth, but long. Another criticism I've seen, and I actually kind of colored it in, but right there was a little gash, and what was happening there was when the slide came back and locked, the slide stop sort of gashed into the slide itself, and it was kind of chipping away the finish a little bit. Colored that in just because it was bothering me, but it's kind of interesting. I think that's partly because the tolerances on this gun are really tight. It is a well-made gun, and I mean, pretty much every moving part has a little bit of the finish scraping off, like right here on the hammer. You probably can't see it, but it's just the tolerances with that and the slide are so close, I think, that it's just sort of rubbing it a little bit. Another problem that I kind of have with the gun is that the grip serrations are pretty small, so it's kind of hard to grab it and charge the gun sometimes. You have to really be conscious about grabbing these serrations here. There probably should have been something up here to grab, but yeah, those are really my only criticisms about the gun. I really like it. I think it looks pretty neat. It is rare, which always appeals to me. I usually like rare. Sorry if this is drifting off frame. I can't see what I'm doing. I usually like rare stuff, and this definitely fits the bill. I don't think I've ever seen one of these in real life before I ordered it. So yeah, it's a good gun. I wouldn't pay I mean, I see them on Gunbroker going for 600 plus, but I don't know about that. I'm thinking $500 maybe, something like that, just for the rarity mostly. It is well built. It is worth $500, I think, but just keep an eye out for the prices and don't spend too much on them. Yeah, so I mean, that's just sort of a quick overview on the Sphinx AT-380M. I like it a lot. It's cool. It's rare. Just kind of floats my boat that way. So, like I said, I'll probably put together a quick field strip video at some point just to show how that works. But yeah, so hope you like the video.